MEC 130 Lab 3 two-wire connections or controls. Here we have a power supply that goes to a lockout module. This lockout module will go to a transformer. This transformer will bring the voltage down and or will power the emergency stop. The emergency stop will then go over to here, and this will control the power for our low voltage circuit. And when this is on, it'll be indicated by a red light that the low voltage side has power. And then this switch will indicate the direction: to left for counterclockwise, clockwise, right for clockwise. And then regardless of what position it's in, it will be green for a running motor. And so on the high voltage side, so from the lockout module to the contact, this contact will act as a control. The low voltage will control the high voltage side via a magnet on the inside. And then it'll come to this relay, and this relay is for a safety precaution, so that when the motor starts to heat up, there's a temperature sensitive coil in there, and once it reaches a certain temperature, it flips. And then so we just have our motor, so I'll just turn the system on, and then here we go. So we have our counterclockwise, and then I'll wait for it to stop rotating, and then show the lights off. And then we have our clockwise, it's running, and then e-stop works, everything's off. And because it's a two-wire system, when the e-stop is let off, the motor comes back on, and that is the two-wire system. MEC 130 Lab 3, this is a three-wire connection, so the system has remained relatively the same. The changes made were, instead of having a two-wire setup controlled by this switch down here, that has been swapped out for a push button. This push button is connected to the e-stop. This e-stop goes to a normally closed button, and this normally closed jumps over to normally open button, and then it then goes over to the connector, just like the normally open switch did. And so relatively the same setup. So we'll power it on, and then so there's power to the circuit, and then we'll go counterclockwise, showing that the motor is rotating, and then we'll stop it, then cuts power to everything, and we'll go ahead and turn the circuit back on, and then have it rotating clockwise. And then the difference between the two-wire and a three-wire is that, unlike the two-wire, when the e-stop is turned back on or pulled out, the circuit does not turn back on and needs to be manually turned back on. So you can see that with the e-stop. E-stop is back out. The circuit is indicated to be off by the red light. It's back on. E-stop. It's off again. So that is the benefit of the three-wire, at least in safety regard, and that is the lab.